everyone, and welcome back to another video. I know it's been long awaited. Your girl has been a little lazy, to say the least. Before my last video was put up, life had just gotten a little hectic, so I definitely needed some downtime to sit around and be uninspired, because if you know drawing, that's how it is. It's very up and down when it comes to inspiration and motivation, but I can always rely on my inspiration to come back at the randomest moments, which is how I created this piece. Now what you're looking at is a piece of fake skin, and I tattooed this as my first large tattoo. I was also going to tattoo something on the back, hence the blue fingers right here. And this stuff never comes out, so I definitely enjoyed blue fingers for a few days afterwards. Regardless of that, I really wanted to start this piece. It's been a project that I've wanted to do for a really, really long time, but I never thought I had the right image in my head to really put it on paper. But it's been closer to 9 years since I actually tattooed that first piece on the fake skin, and I thought, you know, nearly 9 years, that's probably more than enough time to see hella amounts of growth in my style. So I figured it was time to see how much growth I really had since I started. But if you've been watching for a while and checked out my very first portfolio tour, you would know that I was originally wanting to pursue a neo-traditional path of style, and clearly that didn't work out. I love and appreciate neo-traditional, but it's definitely not for me. I just can't draw it for some reason. The weirder it is, the more interesting it is to me, and that's why I enjoy the new school look so much. And I think another reason why is just because the bright colors, it's so intriguing. This might be most artists' opinions, but I really want to create art that turns heads, and what better way to do it than making exaggerated and abnormally shaped food, animals, anything like that. Something that really makes people question, what is that? So they have to sit and study a piece until it makes sense. So in that case, I really like to draw people in with vibrant, eye-catching colors. And I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I get a lot of compliments on my color work from clients and everything else, so it really makes me feel good, you know? I really want to keep that up and continue improving more and more on my color work. But another thing that I really want to keep in mind is composition, which includes the background, which if you've been following me for a long time, you know I do not do background. So I'm really challenging myself nowadays to put some sort of background in there, whether it's super simple or a little more detailed. This one I kept pretty simple just because the mouse and the mushrooms are so detailed, and I really just wanted them to be the main focus, but at least with the background that I did put in, which you saw a little clip of in the beginning, it just helped to give it a little more perspective. But anywho, we are finally getting into one of the more satisfying points of the video, which is the marker. I'm actually so thankful I gave markers a shot again, because this has completely changed my process of drawing, and I highly suggest that any of you out there who are questioning it to try it out, because it's such a game changer, and the biggest thing is a time changer. It takes a lot less time to draw because of the markers and the base layer that you put underneath than it does when you're just solely using pencil crayons. And it's actually a lot less wasteful because I'm not wasting and shortening and sharpening my pencil crayons so much. Unfortunately, my pencil crayons, because they're more of a wax base, they do break quite easily, and they are getting pretty old for some of them. Just find they break a lot more easier these days, so this has definitely helped me out so much more than I could have expected. I'm finally at the pencil crayon part of the process, and honestly, once I got a little further in, I really started to get kind of bored. I didn't realize how much I really put into this piece, like having all these different elements, including the mushrooms, the grass, there's a rock, even the mouse. It's a lot of work, and this piece was a decent size, so it really took a long time for me to do all this pencil crayon. I especially started to feel that way once I got to the mouse fur, because I hate drawing fur so much. I really had no idea what I was doing. And I had this exact same problem with the last piece, which was the Labubu. Oh my gosh. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to drawing fur. I'll probably have to find a different way, but this seemed like the easiest and least complicated way to do it, so you'll have to wait until you can see that part. But by far, my most favorite part of this entire drawing is actually this mushroom I'm working on now. I found the colors that I used so nice to work with, and honestly, they pop so much more in person than they do on the phone screen. It's insane how well it worked together, especially with the green and blue background that I added behind it. Oh, chef's kiss, I'm telling you. I can't express enough how important it is to use contrasting colors and shades. Especially with the contrasting shades, it just gives your piece or your drawing so much more depth than maybe what you were originally intending. One thing I actually unintentionally do is give my work a lot more realistic of a look than I usually want to. I know it sounds kind of odd, but I have this really weird mix of realism and new school going on in my head. It just makes more sense to me. I actually originally taught myself how to draw with realism, so that's made its way into my new school version of art as well. I really don't know how I think of the ways to color my pieces. It just comes naturally into my head. I don't even know how to explain it majority of the time, because I get questioned a lot, like, how do you know where to put everything? And I just don't. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I try to think of the sunlight a lot and the position it's shining down on something at, right? Which is something that we do learn in art class in school, so that's one of the first art lessons you could give yourself if you are trying to teach yourself to draw. I don't really think I'm a professional when it comes to light source. Whenever I finish a piece, I can point out flaws. Maybe I didn't put as much of a shadow there as I should have, or maybe it should be less. I'm still kind of trying to figure that out, but I just don't take things too seriously or, stress over it, because it's art. You're naturally going to evolve and find the techniques that look right. It's also a part of curating your own style too. You really want your style to stand out against other people or artists in your community, or even just online in general. You want people to look at your work and say, oh, I know whose that is, that's Chelsea's, or anything like that. And if you're just starting out or really trying to relearn a new style, it's gonna take time. It's gonna be tough. There's many things about my work that I don't particularly love, or the vision in my head looks completely different than what I put down on paper. So the main thing is just trusting in time and trusting that you will get to a point where you feel more confident in your work and enjoy the outcome. It's gonna be super frustrating in the beginning when you don't really know what you're doing. I've been there and done that with many different styles. I've tried, what did I try? I've tried neo-traditional, which was the beginning. I tried a little bit of traditional as well, but that one I find pretty easy. I just don't particularly have a major interest in doing it. I've tried Japanese traditional, which is extremely hard. It's one of those ones where I tried and I gave up because I couldn't wrap my head around it. So, to each their own, right? It's kind of funny because when I was originally trying to do neo-traditional, I did a couple tattoos, and the manager at the studio I was learning at, God bless her, because she really shifted my focus later on in my career. But she actually told me, "Oh, you are definitely a new school artist. Like I can see that in your work. And you're young and a baby in the industry, and you think, yeah, maybe we'll see. I really want to do this though." You kind of have that ego a little bit, right? So I blew it off for a few years actually, and eventually I came back around to it and realized, oh my god, she is 100% right. I really enjoy this style. It's so much fun, especially working with color. Now, I would like to try doing it in black and gray as well, but it just hits differently with color. It's so much more contrasting, and to me it's just eye-catching. My opinion is my opinion, and to each their own, right? I've seen a lot of black and gray new school stuff and I love it so much. So eventually I'll do it, but I'm not in any rush. I plan on trying out some more styles like realism, although it is very difficult looking when it comes to tattoos. So we'll see about that. That one's going to take some time, and as the years go on, I inch closer and closer to wanting to really try it out. There's just a lot of intimidating looking realism pieces, so we'll kind of see how that goes. If you've been watching for a while again, then you know that I love to draw realism as well, especially portraits. So that's kind of the direction I was hoping to go into with my realism merging into my tattoo world. But we'll see. It takes time, and realism is not a style you want to screw around with when it comes to tattooing. You want to be good at it and have a great understanding of colors and underlying tones, all that kind of stuff, which I'm still trying to figure out some way or another. I don't really know how people figure it out. It just kind of happens one day and clicks. I'm finally nearing the end of this piece, and I really tried to just skip through all this really boring stuff like the fur. There's just nothing special to it, so I was like, I don't really want to show these people how horribly annoyed I was at this fur color. It was horrible, especially with black and gray pencil crayons. They're just very how do I explain it? They stand out a lot. I probably should have done a lighter gray background, but with this color you really just have to pack it in, because if you just lightly go over it with the over the marker, then you can see the graininess of the paper, and I don't like that. I want mine to look super smooth, so that's my reason behind the hatred for the grays. But they're really opaque, which I enjoy at the end. It looks really good, and the work I put in is definitely worth it. However, I don't think I'm going to be doing any fuzzy animals next, and for a while. I do have my next piece in mind, but of course I'm going to keep it a secret. You've all probably been waiting for this pencil crayon stuff to end, so here we are at some little bits of background. I did make this last part pretty quick, just skimming through the background and stuff, because it was quite repetitive and similar to what I'm doing right now, just a lot of poking and dotting, so nothing too crazy. But if you can tell, I kind of started green and went to a gradient of blue up near the top, just because I wanted it to look like some faraway grass, but merging into the sun. And the blue really looks good against this orange and red mushroom top, so it really stood out nicely and contrasted perfectly. I'm really happy with the outcome, and I'm definitely glad I added background. Oh my gosh, I think this piece would have looked really weird if it didn't have background. Maybe I'll tattoo this one day. I think it would make a really cute tattoo. We'll see. If anybody wants it, let me know. But we're officially getting to the final moments of this piece. Let me know how the audio was. I did just get a new tiny little microphone, so if it's kind of weird, just comment down below. But here we are with the final sexy shots. Thanks for watching, and I really hope you like this piece. Let me know if you have any ideas for the next one, because my mind always changes, and I'll let you know when the next video is about to come out. Enjoy your evening, guys, and I love you.